Also remember a question about splits, and one of the things that you have to do when you're touring with an artist like Adele is do a lot of TV shows and broadcast
That's
situations.
correct.
And I remember you saying that you're very happy with the front of house and monitor split and everything's the same from day to day. But what often happens is you go into a broadcast situation and they will stick a giant splitter system in front of you, replumb everything, which is time for the crew to, and then sometimes the gains, which something might change because something's been unplugged, and then it could change the feel of things. So we thought about this, and you asked us to see if there's a way of providing a split using iLive, and one of the ways we came up with was to split from front of house to monitors using I think MADI in this case, and then we split onto a third rack, which had all output cards. So basically it was carrying the same split as the monitors, all the mic pre's, but the outputs were XLR outs line level. And how did you, I think you found that useful, just to be able to say, look, there's a rack with all the outputs on it on a piece of cable, use it. But I don't know how, I bet you got a few people, scratching their heads in the broadcast world. That's not the normal way of doing things.
We did have a few people fight against what we were trying to do, because they're very used to having control, and all of a sudden we had control. But a little bit of diplomacy, and see how you go.
Yeah.
Everyone was a convert, and the beauty of it is quite often when TV or a broadcast truck are doing a recording of your show, all their equipment and all their looms are right in your world, and it's just mess. It's just,
which can possibly interfere with the job in hand.
It does. It does. It's tense enough as it is already, rather than having enough people running around plugging and plumbing stuff, which is vital.
Yeah. And you're going to have to replumb it at the end of that show and ready for the next show the next day when they're out of your life, but you're facing that problem of making it all good.
Exactly.
Later,
and I remember the first time we used this, it was great. It was in a little flight case with wheels, long Cat 5 cable. Wheel that over there. That's you. You're fine. And here's a list of inputs and outputs.
Right.
And I didn't hear a peep from anyone all day. And it works perfectly.
Well, I've done the same thing on a couple of festivals, and the broadcast people have been absolutely delighted. Just say, great, they send out a loom, they take the signals. I mean, they're a little bit surprised to see it's line level, not mic level, but ultimately, I've never had any complaints about sound quality or anything like that in terms of what you hear on the telly, on the TV broadcast is the same mic pre as going for the system.
And that's the bottom line. Yeah. Can you tell the difference? No, you can't tell the difference. All we've done is made it safer for, the house engineer.
Cool. Well, that was a really good. I'm glad you asked me that one, because I think it's coming up more and more now. Is how do you provide splits for external things in analog? So it's definitely a proven system. Okay, we've got another question from Michael in America. Are you using any external clocks, or are the iLives happily running on their internal?
They're happily running on their internal.
Right. So you've never felt the need to go into special, distributed clocks and all this kind of extra setup with digital? No. So just plug it in, switch it on, get them.
Sounds great. Nothing's weird.
Nothing's weird. It's official from Dave. Nothing's weird.
Okay. I'm not going to mess with it.
Okay. Neil Martin has asked, how do you go about creating a sense of space for each instrument in a big mix? And he's asking here, particularly bands like Sigur Rós.
Wow. A tip that I've always done is on the first day of working with any artist or any band is I've always walked up to the stage and listened to every instrument individually, and to see how that instrument sounds. And then I will listen to the stage, and I will listen to how they're all mixing with one another unamplified from a PA of any kind. Bearing that in mind, I'll go back, and then you just build a picture. I mean, your job, and while you're employed as a front of house engineer, is to build a soundscape and that's your job, is to layer it and just place it. And once you've heard how the instrument sounds, you know where to put things. It's a natural thing. It's a natural process.
So your job is to understand the nature of the sounds that these guys have obviously spent years perfecting, and they have, and they've done the records, whatever they're recreating. And your job is to amplify it and balance it, not to distort it, change it in any.
No. Just use what you have there, and then layer it. I mean, don't try and. A common mistake is people trying to make things louder than the other thing. You know, don't try and do that. Just place it where it's meant to be, and then use the overall sort of mix as a dynamic. You know, bring it up in places, bring it back. You know,
you mean the faders do go in two directions?
Oh, apparently so. You know.
Okay, that's so. Yeah, work with the dynamics rather than overcomplicate things with.
Yeah, don't blast it. Don't
blast it. Yeah.
Don't blast it. There's a right time and a right place for that.
Great. Okay. A question from Warren Davis. I see you run subs out of an AUX. Do you ever run vocals into the subs?
No.
Okay. Well, that's no vocals in the subs from Dave McDonald. Okay. So how's it going at the moment? Are you enjoying a little bit of time off from touring? I'm sure you. Yeah, that must be a relief.
I'm taking a break from touring for the meantime. Just getting on with a few ideas that I want to get on with. I'm doing a little bit of work in London, just ticking over, and just waiting to see what the future brings in. I'm not saying too much.
No, I don't see why you should have to, really. But you're happily just enjoying spending some time probably home, I would imagine.
Well, with the family. I haven't seen the family for a long time.
Crikey, yeah, because once that tour kicked off, I mean, you were off, you know, you were out there and gone. Yeah.
Well,
Well, I'm very grateful for you to take some time to come down and see us in Cornwall, because we're quite a long way from London folks down here. We're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. So I believe you've driven down to see us. Yeah, that's really nice. It's your first time here, and that's very valuable. And also you've seen how you've seen the R&D guys, and you've seen the marketing people and the way we build things here in the factory. And it's
just nice to, you know, I've been using these boards for a long time to actually see where they're made. You know, where they're hatched.
That's right. Well, it is like a family business. It's a cottage industry which has kind of grown over the years to worldwide reputation. But it's always really nice when people take the time to come and see how it all starts and meet the people here at the factory, because it is a very small team. You know, we have the people that create it, the people that market it, the people that teach it and sell it. Everything's here in one space. So we're very enthusiastic about sound and meeting people like yourself and getting some invaluable feedback about the way the desks work and what your experiences has been. So that's been a really valuable experience. Okay. Have you got anything that you want to advise people about who may be interested in becoming sound engineers or already are sound engineers? Have you got any words of wisdom?
Well,
I kind of all your years of.
I kind of said it earlier on, but don't always listen to everybody else around you or other people's opinions on things. Use your own opinion and use your own ears. And you find that'll always be a good guide for you, a good test. There are a lot of people out there saying you shouldn't do, you can't do that because of that, and you can't do that, but just have a little look.
Okay, well, thank you for that. We just had another question in here from Michael Garth. Hi, Michael. What additional features would you like to see added to the iLive desks, or desks in general? Is there anything that you would like to see on the desk? I remember Dave Stewart from the Rhythmics was once asked about what we'd like to see on the desk, and he said a urinal actually would be very, very handy, very handy at front of house on these long gigs at festivals. Is there anything you'd like to see on a desk?
We were joking last night about cup holders, and but no, better communication between the front of house and monitors.
Oh yeah, so maybe some
Just
sort of
a built-in talkback system or some kind of or something. It's bizarre, but over say the past 5 years, with numerous monitor engineers, we have spent so much time setting up monitoring.
squawks, talkbacks,
and is it working yet? You know, and you're thinking you've got these amazing products in front of you.
You switch them on, you connected them up.
Yeah.
So what you should have on it really is the kind of door entry system you have on apartment blocks, you know, where you have a telephone hanging on the desk and a screen, and there's the monitor. He's wanting to talk to you. You pick up the phone because it should be there anyway because the desk.
Yeah, while you're setting up, you want to talk to the guys on stage. You know, it just seems ridiculous rather than shouting. You know, all day long. But I'm sure it'll get there.
Yeah, to make communications, make it a seamless, easy part of the job instead of some overcomplicated and
well, you have to bring in separate boxes to plug in and.
Yeah, I guess front of house must seem like a long way away from.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we're using scooters in some places now to get electric scooters to get to backstage. I mean, you know.
Crikey.
So shouting that sort of distance before things are up or something's not working properly. It's quite. You know, I've even made phone calls.
Yeah. So really, what you're saying is the desk is connected to the rest of the world by this sort of multi-core and technology, then that should be working for him the minute it's powered up.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good point. So, Webmaster, have we got any more questions coming? I think we've more or less answered the questions from people around the world that have taken the time to write in. Thanks very much for those. So, I think we're going to round up now. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone, and asking some questions of Dave. And thanks once again, Dave, for taking part in this
thank you.
Live webinar from Cornwall. And hope to look forward to going out there and seeing what you're up to next.
I'm looking forward to it myself.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.